When I look at your face down there in another place without me, or in ecstasy, and I'm left wondering. You push, you beg me to feel it, I push.
Live and everything looks good. Hello everyone out there in the internet, welcome back to another episode of Enchanting Sorcery Productions Presents. Today we have our annual AAC previous year recap and current year hype. I, as always, am your host slash DM slash storyteller, mistress of all trades, Essie, or Erin Spencer. My pronouns are she, her, and we of course have with us, returning once again, the incredible talented Mr. Playwright, who usually runs the amazing panel D&D Group Therapy. Mr. Playwright, give us a little bit about yourself before we jump in. Who are you? And tell us about D&D Group Therapy and any other things that you run at AAC.
I am just a huge fan of getting like an entire audience to play a game together. I appreciate D&D, and for the past like couple years, I've actually been working on my own like TTRPGs. D&D Group Therapy is quite literally just a game where the entire audience takes control of like 5 characters, and they go through a quick one shot where they get to make all the decisions for all the heroes together.
And it was a lot of fun. Every time I've been, it is incredible. It was, I think, 2021, right? Was the first year that you did it? Because I think 2020 was canceled.
I've only done 2 years,
Yep.
and it was in a row. So
Yeah.
I was supposed to be on staff like just when COVID showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I remember meeting with you after, introducing myself and talking about the panel and about how D&D and TTRPGs have affected so many people in such a positive way, especially during the Backstreet Boys reunion tour, when we had nothing really else to do. And even people who don't stream, right? Even people who don't monetize, or who don't do paid games on Patreon, or who don't teach others as a business. There were so many people, friends from high school that I ran into that just, I started playing D&D or Pathfinder even during the pandemic, because what are we going to do? And they didn't stream or anything. They were just happy to sit down at a table with some friends, masks maybe on or off depending on the situation, and just play some TTRPGs. It has an amazing power to bring people together. And it wouldn't be our channel, our TTRPG channel, without talking about TTRPGs. So curious, do you have any other TTRPGs that you have been interested in lately? I know a lot of individuals in the community, ourselves included, have been expanding. We just did a one-shot for Vampire the Masquerade. We're going to be playing Shield Maidens coming up soon in 2024, TBD. A lot of D&D 5e, of course, as well, but I also played some Pathfinder and some Call of Cthulhu over on our friends' channel for, excuse me, Lost Caravan RPG. We did some cool stuff over there. But how about you? Have you expanded at all into any other systems?
So, I haven't been playing any other systems that are not 5e or I didn't personally create. But I have actually purchased, I forget if it was Kids on Bikes or Kids on Brooms, just because it was like a simpler system.
Kids on Bikes is so cool. Yeah.
I think I got Kids on Brooms, which is their like magic.
I didn't even know that existed. I've been saying Kids on Bikes this whole time because I picked it up, I flipped through it, I was like, we gotta run this. This is so cool.
Yeah. I think they have a third one out actually. I don't remember.
Well, we're Richie, so I have to get Queers on Brooms. Kids on Brooms. Queers on Brooms. That was a Freudian slip, but I'm going with it. Sticking with it.
Also, if I'm just doing this, I'm just petting my dog off camera because she is freaked out. I don't know why.
Oh.
But yeah, other than that,
all the head pats.
So I've actually been playing with a group of friends For the last several years, I made a wrestling TTRPG.
Maybe tell me about that, which is really cool.
Yeah, I keep remaking the rulebook, which my friends are not happy about. But it's called Rings and Ropes.
Rings of Ropes?
Rings and Ropes.
Rings and Ropes. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
that could definitely be something for when we do our next podcast. You could plug that into Nightbot. We'll give a little Nightbot command that'll come up right in the chat right there.
Yeah.
It'll be in the VOD description too, because most people watch our convention recap on VOD. That's like the big thing there.
Because we love alliteration, we also have
Yes.
another one.
Alliterations
which
are
is,
awesome.
Another fantasy one, which is like my friend / my roommate.
Mhm.
I feel like I came up with the original idea. Currently, the name is Steal and Spellbooks.
Ooh. Okay.
Originally, it was, I believe,
You have really good names for all your stuff.
yeah. It was like Swords and Spells originally, but that was like a D&D like book early on, like second edition or first edition or something. So I'm like, I'm just not gonna even risk that. But like,
ooh, yeah, hydrate. Good call.
both have very different systems. The SNS game has a system I call the grading system. So instead of like worrying about modifiers as much, there's still modifiers, but you have, it's kind of like Kids on Bikes, where you have a different die for every stat, except it's a bit more complicated, and every time you level up, you increase the value of one of the dice. And so you were rolling a d20 and that die. And there's a couple other things that you're leveling up on its own. So like the more experience you get cooking or being a blacksmith, you level those up as like actual skills.
Crafting. The elusive crafting.
Very much. And then Rings and Ropes is a lot simpler, but we have a thing called the Throwdown, which is essentially,
it sounds like fun.
Instead of
want to do this
systems, instead of having an armor class, you have to roll your defense. Some fights are a bit long, some fights are a little short. It's all about your luck and your strategy. So, talking about AAC, I am running, I believe, 2 games this year.
That being said, we have some thoughts on AAC 2022. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. I had fun. We're going to talk about it. My overall thoughts were good. They were positive. Do you have... There was that one little snafu we talked about that I was able to report it. No big deal. Hopefully that was resolved with that one person. It was some insensitive comments during one of the dating games, but I brought it to the attention of the convention team, and they handled that very well. So I applaud y'all for handling that the way you did. TBD, hopefully things are better this year. But my overall thoughts, I had a really good time. I always have such a great time at AAC. It's fun. It's a small, like J. Michael Tatum used to say when he used to go regularly. It's a small convention where there's little to no barrier between con-goers and guests and VIP guests. Everyone's very accessible. You can have conversations with anybody just in passing. It's a really, really, really nice vibe. Media is treated very, very well for the work that we do, the podcast and the editing and the actual filming and the interviews and that stuff. And it's just a great overall vibe and a lot of fun. We're going to get into some of the panels, but my overall thoughts were positive, as always. So overall thoughts, and then we're going to get into the nitty gritty, some specifics, but what are your overall thoughts? If you just kind of look back on 2022 and say, what was some situations that stood out, like I mentioned, or other things that you really liked, or general vibe, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm trying to remember a lot. I do I have started having memory issues.
Hey, yeah,
Um,
it's a blur, I think, for a lot of people, and we're going to talk about the hype for 2023 as well, and kind of a wish list. But what's your overall vibe for
I
22?
mean, I had a good time.
Yeah,
Um,
me too. It's always fun.
I, I think I had like a little bit of a slow start with
Yeah,
my
same.
own. Yeah, if I'm remembering it correctly, because I think most of what I did was just walking around, seeing which other of the people in my game show staff needed help.
Yes,
So
I remember you telling me that.
yeah, and I'm essentially just walking all over the place. I'm not really like sticking to one place or viewing anything as like a fan as much. I probably should have,
Yeah.
but
Well, honestly, same for media. It was especially at PAX Unplugged. Oh my gods! I mean, they were they were apparently they really liked the content that we made, and that's very exciting. And I'm really excited to work with them. We're covering PAX Unplugged this year as media officially, so which means they checked out our stuff. They liked it. AAC is a lot more casual because we do the podcast and it's definitely a lot less work. So I definitely appreciate all the accommodations that media is given that we essentially do the podcast and then we share that and put that out there on our channel to our community and our viewers. But tell me about some of your panels. I don't know. That's we'll go back into segues. So you did D&D Group Therapy, which we talked about. But I know you said that it was kind of a blur and a slow start at first because you were running around helping some of the other panelists. So what were some of the other game shows that you were a part of, whether you were assisting or just being support staff? What were some of the other ones that you were
so
involved with last year?
there were two I was running. My one problem is like D&D therapy last year. And my next game, which was I cannot remember what I called it. It's been a year. Um, Give me one second. But yeah, it quite literally the second D&D therapy was supposed to end, my other one began.
Mhm.
Because I made the mistake of not looking at the times until day of when it was way too late. So I basically, because I could have probably continued for like an extra
Right.
20, 30
Yeah.
minutes, gave like actual help out that year. Actually, my okay, yeah, I remember that show now. But it was still nice, and it was a lot. There was a lot more. Granted, my first year was a packed room.
Yes,
Uh,
that was very memorable because of how packed it was, and everybody had the masks on, and it
yeah.
was like sardine can in there. The queue has concluded. I have been betrayed by Flavabot. No, how dare. All right,
Yeah.
after infinity, try again. We're going to try again with the try again. We're going to loop. Loop. Okay, it's enabled. Speaking of, let's give a shout out to After Infinity. If you're looking for stock music, check them out. Cool stuff. But yeah, the first year it was the sardine can, but it was so much fun. We had the Kenku and it was breaking out of the cell. Was it the same scenario the second year? I
Second
can't quite
year,
remember off the top of my head if it was the same break out of prison, escape the castle
well,
scenario.
the biggest part of the first year was like after everyone succeeded
Mm-hmm.
and I was giving out prizes, I gave a prize
I
to
love the prizes.
whoever like got the final blow or like the
Yeah.
final anything in the first. And then the second one was down to a reroll. Everyone chose one person. And we had 5 nat 20s in a row.
Yeah. I remember the hype.
Just nonstop. Everyone was freaking out. First one was Escape the Prison.
Mm-hmm.
Second one was actually to break into a castle and take out down a evil king.
That's what it was. And I remember it being outside in the tent, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure that wasn't your other panel. But yeah, that was the one that we showed up to. I was like, I think we were a little late, but it was a lot of fun. We were able to jump in with a group.
I don't remember if
And then I saw you at another game show. I think that you were helping out at. Yeah.
right after, because I had to leave D&D Therapy early,
Mm-hmm.
so like not even early, just like on time. And then I got to my other show, Left versus Wrong, at the exact time it was supposed to start. So I didn't get to set up.
That's what it was.
So yeah, that's on myself.
Did it go well though? 'Cause I don't think I was at that one. So yeah, understandable. A little bit of improv goes a long way.
Small room.
Yeah.
It was my big love when it comes to making games is like I enjoy making games where everyone can participate.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
the trickiest part.
Left versus Wrong was essentially a quiz show where it was the left side of the room versus the right side of the room.
Oh, okay, all right.
And at any point, we had buzzers, and I read out a question, or we had like a list of like Family Feud style, depending on the question.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It was either buzz in or
Hydrate.
whoever got the most, and then I had candy at the end. Hydrate is out of stock.
Hydrate or Hydrate.
And yeah, I had like maybe 10 people, and I knew half the people in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So like that one was not as big. That's understandable. I don't think I'm gonna bring that back. I'm not bringing it back this next year.
Did you get all your
again?
Did you get all your panel submissions in?
Yeah, I got those out like day one. I planned for 3, and I'm like, I can only do 2, I think.
Yeah, I planned for 2 and only submitted 1. It's the so you want to run a D&D/TTRPG show. It's a lot of work. And in all honesty, it's a lot of work. We do make enough money to file taxes. I'm blessed. But once you get to that point, the stress rises. Right? It begins to slowly rise to the surface. The busier you get, but busy is good. I was lucky enough to be able to go part-time at my day job, only by 1 day, but what we make on over the course of the year is enough to kind of fill in that Friday, and it's a lot less stressful. But that's the one panel that I'm submitting. Are you submitting anything new and exciting this year that we should look forward to or look out for on the schedule?
So let me mention the game show that I had that did not go through.
Okay, all right.
And I'll mention the one that I did.
Okay.
So originally, are you a fan of Dropout at all?
Is that okay? Is that the Japanese game show?
No, that's Dimension 20.
Oh,
like
okay.
That company. So College Humor.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of because we did Ninja Warrior last year, so I was thinking, what's the name of the Japanese game show where they? I know there's Takeshi's Castle, but there's another one that's similar where they do like American Gladiator style thing. Not Ninja Warrior. It's like a comedy one. They go around and there's these big rotating boffing
or the
obstacles.
I think we have like an American one where
it might be the American one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
So,
but anyway, I digress. Yeah.
The company's Dropout. It runs. It has like a couple shows like Dimension 20, which is the D&D show with Brandon Lee Mulligan.
Yes. Yep. I have seen thousands, probably hundreds. Right. It feels like thousands, but I have seen countless videos because people on our server share them every day, right? People share Brandon Lee Mulligan Dimension 20 videos every day. So I've seen so much of Dimension 20 through videos that people on our server and our community have linked. To my own admittance, and Brendan, I'm so sorry. I'll have to sit down and actually watch a full episode from start to finish. But it's been a long time since I've watched a full episode a full episode start to finish of one of our peers' shows. I always try to jump in when I can, throw the tab open, show love and support, especially for the smaller creators. Always do that. But watching and really diving into the story from start to finish for our other friends and peers and colleagues that are also running their own channels and networks is a task. But the meeting halfway is that the best way to support through Twitch and everything, what we usually do is we usually throw open a tab. So, and, you know, you can do that with Dimension 22, but I love seeing all the clips. I love Brandon Lee Mulligan's bird facts, the random bird facts. And I think collectively I've seen at least one full episode from all the clips that people post. But I actually, myself, shame on me, I wasn't aware that the parent production company was Dropout. Or maybe I was and I just forgot. Because it sounds familiar. But anyway, Dropout.
College Humor, they left it and then the CEO bought it. And like the CEO
right.
Wholesome, he's like the
business,
son of
yes.
like a senator or like an ex-senator.
Okay.
And like he's a good rich man. Like the first thing he did was, because you know the writer's strike going on, he always made sure that everything that they demanded he gave. And
it's a good start for sure. Good start.
And like I know Dimension 20 was one of the groups that there was like a D20 or like a D&D day.
Yes.
Dimension 20 was one of the groups that like donated a food truck and like ran events.
Jasper's Game Day or a different? Oh, for the strikers. Okay, yeah.
For the strike, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
anyway.
generally speaking, because they have there's Jasper's Game Day. I'm not sure if that's through Dropout in Dimension 20, but I'm actually gonna look it up right now. I'm really curious because it's actually for a good cause. 2023. When you said game day, that's the first thing that I thought of. But that's cool that they did a game day for the strikers. Amazing.
Yeah. So one of the shows that I got inspiration from, they do a show called Game Changer.
Yep,
where...
I'm aware of Game Changer. I've seen another 100 clips from that.
Yeah. My thought process was, hey, I could do Game Changer, and no matter what game idea I have, I can take my time. I can still surprise people that go in.
All right.
I did not end up going with that. I may do it next year.
Because that would be a lot of fun. I would love to play a Game Changer type of situation. Also, by the way, sidebar, Jasper's Game Day, you can actually donate to the charity. It's for a really good cause. I posted the link in the Twitch chat, and it will also be in the description in the VOD below. So be sure to check out the link to Jasper's Game Day. Carry on talking about the panel that is similar to...
Yeah, that's just that. The panel that I actually applied for, it's a very long name. It's called Rochambeau World Extreme Championship Tournament Turbo Edition.
Amazing. I love really long names like that. That's great.
So it's a rock, paper, scissors tournament. And it is technically pro wrestling themed. Players, this will be a pre-register sort of thing. So it's not like the same as like some of my other ideas. But players can go and cosplay or be as themselves. They can go as a character. They can go by their cosplay name. Either way, it's just... I'm interested to see characters fly and, like, show themselves off.
Yeah. So I've got a few episodes of Game Changer. I'm gonna post that in the chat as well. It's 3 episodes for free on YouTube on the Game Changer channel. So if you're curious, you can check that out. It's I think each episode is like 45 minutes to an hour. But anyway, carry on about the most recent one that you did submit.
Yeah. So the Rowan of Shampoo tournament.
Yes, Turbo Deluxe Edition.
That is technically like two different references in the name.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously like Street Fighter Turbo Edition.
Yep.
There was a planned song, and I don't remember if like they actually did end up making it or not. But there was like an NSP song
Mm-hmm.
that had like see if I can like I don't really remember it. It was something definitely not safe for work. I don't know. It was one of their like failed song ideas, and I'm like, that sounds fun, but let's make it more safe for work and a little more wholesome.
And what is the full name of the panel once again for the people watching, so they can look for it in the brochure and convention guide?
Rochambeau World Extreme Championship Tournament Turbo Edition.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be there for that.
Yeah.
As far as go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly how many, because I'm gonna open up registration for it. Once I figure out exactly, I have to talk to Matthew McKenna about it. I'm not sure about
Shout
the
out
number.
to Matthew, King of the Con.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the number of participants. It could be 8, it could be 16, it could be 32. It depends on how many people go and just how quick I can do it.
And you're pulling from a pre-selected pool, or people that show up?
I feel like it's going to be people who not audition, but like sign up.
Okay,
and
yep,
then
that makes sense.
If
That's
we have
the other cosplay games are like that.
Yeah, if we have additional spots, I can do audience as well.
Okay.
But it's like I'm having like I would like all of the competitors to have like their own entrance music. They
Ooh, yeah.
Grab whatever they want to do, as long as it's PG, of course. But like,
right.
It's like you're making your entrance as if you are a pro boxer or pro wrestler, but all you're doing is
right. Yep. That's really cool.
And
I like that. I appreciate humor like that. That's 100% my kind of humor.
Yeah, I'm interested. It also depends on like what room we end up getting, because I don't know.
Right.
If we get like a little curtain, it just like people can be like, oh yeah. But yeah, I'm interested to see how that goes.
Yeah, play it by ear.
Funnily enough, so last year when we did D&D Therapy,
yes, yep,
right before we started, I remember just talking to people in the back who were waiting for D&D Therapy to start, and because I think they were confused, because they were like, I'm not sure if we're supposed to bring our own character sheets or what's going on.
Oh yeah. People go all out for that type of thing.
So yeah, one of them gave me this, and I've just been keeping it like by my table ever since.
I remember that. That's right. I'm 99% sure I remember that actually happening, because that looks very familiar. Unless I am thinking of someone that was either handing them out or selling them. But I have seen those adorable little guys around the convention.
Yeah. There was someone selling it. I got that one for free.
That makes sense.
It was before the show, because I remember you were a little bit late to the show.
Yep.
But to be fair, it was like a Friday afternoon.
Yes. I think we came up on, I think we drove up Friday afternoon. We're going to try and get a hotel this year, but driving up with traffic on a Friday afternoon and everything was not ideal. We weren't that far away, but it was enough to get us there mid to late afternoon, so we were running a little late. But speaking
also,
go ahead. Yep.
The ultimate suggestion whenever you go to a con, I know it's important to sometimes take the day off, day before off.
Yep.
If the last day of the con is Sunday, take the next day off if you're able to.
Yep.
You're going to be so happy when you can sleep in the next day on Monday, and then you're not just rushing around the previous day trying to get everything done.
Yep.
So just you can go to work the next day.
100%. I am with you all the way.
Yeah.
Especially for larger cons, but AAC is a con that, like, if you commit and go all out, you're definitely going to want to take that Monday off for sure. So you heard it here. Here's your advice: take Monday off if you can. I don't think we understand that a lot of times it's not feasible, but you can call it sick. You can be late-ish, so long as you are you're able to do so. But take time, even like an hour or two if you can. Whatever you can do to get a little bit of time off on Monday, we definitely recommend doing it. It's worth it.
I'm not condoning calling in sick when you're not sick, obviously. But also,
I am commit wage theft. Hi-yo! So Soviet theme plays in the background. It's what we do here. It's our thing. Because capitalism. We're in late stage capitalism, comrade. We need to seize the means of production sooner than later.
Weird right now.
Yeah, it's a good reaction. Good reaction. The world is weird right now, but I'm definitely like way over here. Well, actually, the cameras are reversed. My left side, you can see my arm is pointing left, but it's actually reversed. So way far over to the left there, especially with like wages and wage theft and capitalism and corporate abuse employees. But that is a story for a different podcast. Also, we support, we talked about before, we support the strikers. Obviously, we want to support them as loudly and as overtly, and you can donate. I think there's some funds that are helping to supplement income for writers and the actors that have joined them. They definitely need that support. So you can go and look at these organizations. And also, if you're just out there, you just be out there for those that are the more popular, more affluent writers, actors. You can just go out there if you're anywhere near LA or any of the other studios, because the strikes all over the country. Make your presence known. Go out there and just show some support if you can, if you're able. Go ahead.
Wasn't it the CEO of Disney or some high up in Disney that said some truly awful stuff? Like, we'll wait for them to not be able to afford to live, and they lose their
and that's where the famous Ron
and
Perlman video comes in, where he's like, "Listen here." Hard expletives, right? We know who you are. But that is, that's not okay. It's not okay. You can't be threatening people's livelihood like that. People suck, Mr. Playwright. People are awful, especially people with too much money. People with too much money suck. 99.9% of the time. But I digress. As far as AAC, things I'm looking forward to. My favorite panel from 2022 is, of course, as always, Cosplay Unmentionables. So I'm very excited to hopefully see that come back. That is always my favorite panel. I have a good time. It's my one time to cut loose for the year, enjoy myself, and just have fun in a private setting. How about you? What's your favorite panel other than the ones that you run? Because I know we're all partial to our babies, our creations. But what was your favorite panel, if you had to pick one, or favorite event activity panel from last year? You can also say your own if you want to. There's no rule that says you can't.
All right, so I think there's like a little story I can tell here.
All right.
Towards the end, my memory fails me, and I never remember the names of.
My memory fails me all the time. I'm so bad with this. I have to take detailed notes, and even then pulling it up, I'm like, what did I write?
Yeah, I'm in a group chat, and I think there was a link in one of these, and it'll tell me exactly.
Yeah.
The name. It was a McKenna show. or McKenna game.
It was or it wasn't?
It was a McKenna game.
Okay. Yeah.
It was the one that was
Well,
based
they're
on
always
the
fun.
show. Yeah.
The Always Sunny?
Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think Always Sunny.
That's always fun. I think I missed that this year. Matt, I'm sorry. I will go this year so long as we're able to get there at the day before and it's not at like 10 o'clock in the morning. Because sometimes some of the really cool panels are at like 11 a.m. on Friday. And I'm like, wait, we made it just in time one year for it. But go ahead, sorry.
I don't know. Always Sunny, the 18 plus edition always is like later on at night.
Yep. And it's fun.
So the first, I believe, I believe it was the most recent one before I was staff. I just remember doing a lot of like cleaning up and helping out, like behind the scenes, keeping things tidy even as the chaos reigned.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was
Let chaos reign.
I think it was part of that may have gotten me some of the staff that may have gotten me into game show staff in the first place.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're all really cool people. Everyone that I've talked to that's run any of the game shows or any of the interactive panels, yourself included, has been super cool. Become friends, right? My mic is like wobbling up and down furiously because I bumped into it. But yeah, everyone is super cool.
Honestly, it's a great game every year because you never know what's going to happen because it's entirely random.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget. Actually, no, it's not 18 plus. It's 21 plus. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, is that the one that you can actually? Yeah, there were a few where I was very impressed. You can actually bring alcohol into some of the panels at this hotel if you are over 21. And also, this is an 18 plus stream. But obviously, we know that we promote it for AAC and everybody. A lot of people watch these videos, so we don't want to go too wild. But I will say, disclaimer: 18 plus stream, so we can't talk about alcohol. So yeah, I really thought it was really cool. This is one of the only conventions where if you have in certain panels, you can actually bring alcohol in with a wristband, which is great. That's so much fun.
So here's a fun fact about me. I've actually never drank before in my life.
It can be a bad habit, and it took me a while to be able to regulate myself from moderation for special occasions, such as a 21 plus panel.
No,
and date night.
For me, I know how my like body works and my mind works. Like,
yeah,
I'm just not gonna go into that because if I start, you never know.
That's fair. I always recommend edibles for anyone that's like kind of wants to like relax a little bit, or even a sleep aid. I use edibles as a sleep aid, and it's legal in Massachusetts now. So if you get it from a dispensary, it's all 4.5 to 5 milligrams, and a lot of people just use them to sleep. And some people, if you take a sativa, some people will take it before a party, and it just has a similar effect, but it's a lot less toxic to your body and a lot less invasive, and you just kind of fizzle for a little bit. Whoa, my stomach! I had delicious tacos, but now my stomach is roaring because tacos, and it's not even Tuesday; it's a Wednesday. But the tacos were delicious. 3 tacos. What'd you have?
I had soup.
Soup. Ooh, good soup. What kind of soup?
Yeah. Jambalaya?
You had jambalaya? I'm jealous.
It was like
it's like its own thing.
Brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chunky's has jambalaya?
I think so. I don't know what I ate then. If it's not jambalaya, I don't know what I ate.
Something. But anyway, yes.
Yeah.
Favorite panel.
No, last night I went to Yas Chicken.
Ooh,
it was like,
okay.
Yeah, it was nice.
I haven't done that.
Yeah,
I need to go.
I feel like it's going to usually Always Sunny. Just because like
the years I've been were fun. Maybe we did go because I definitely remember bringing alcohol into a panel. I think we showed up right at the end there, if I remember correctly. I definitely went to a panel with a drink, and also I have in my notes that bar in the hotel is really freaking cool. It's cool to just have it there, even if you're not drinking. It's a good place to hang out, like a piano bar.
I think last year we did not actually get the room with the bar. I don't think so.
It was a
I
different. You have to
also
bring it through the con to the thing. That was more of a sidebar that like I really enjoy that particular bar at the hotel.
yeah, I also do remember the usually it's packed immediately, so they have to like close the doors really quickly.
Yes.
But yeah, uh, I gotta say it's gotta be Always Sunny for me.
It's always any of those panels are a lot of fun. But speaking of amazing and fun panels from 2022, Ninja Warrior, the best panel no one expected. There was the Always Sunny panel, and I think after that was the Ninja Warrior panel. And I think they kind of blended together. But I remember having that late at night was the perfect storm because the energy on Saturday was starting to fizzle out a little bit, getting close to like 10 o'clock at night. But then the underdog from the top ropes, right? American Ninja Warrior at AAC Ninja Warrior. That was so much fun, and everybody in that crowd was screaming like it was an Olympic event. And I think having 21 plus panels where people can actually go to the bar, grab a drink or two, come back, be able to enjoy themselves at a closed location and have fun. I think that the time slot, that factor really helped make that panel one of the most memorable panels I have ever been to at AAC. It's like a late night fun panel, and all of the bros were there, right, screaming like yeah, right, every single, and the energy was contagious, right? Being able to just enjoy the silliness, and everyone embraced it. Everyone embraced the silliness, and everyone wanted to try. And even if you don't drink, or if you're not coming from the bar, if you're not coming from a panel where that's 21 plus, everybody was involved. Right? Everybody was cheering, everybody was screaming, and it was the energy was contagious. It's silly fun, and I think we're at the time we're in a time now where silly fun, it's okay to just like have some silliness with your friends and just act like a kid again. We're right around that time, and there was something special about it, about that. Like, let's do a field day type of obstacle course. That's a little, that's just silly fun. And I definitely want to see that panel again this year as well. That was a lot of hype. Thank you for the hydrate, because I need to. I was talking for too long.
I do regret that I was not able to see it last year.
It was a phenomenon like nothing I've ever seen. For a game, for a silly game, where usually people, like, let me try, and people stand around. No, it was like the GIF I sent you from the movie where people like, really emotionally invested in this in the best way possible. It was very cool.
Yeah. So I obviously, because it's not a game show game, I'm like 98% sure, but like hearing how popular it was, I'm pretty sure that's probably coming back in some way.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure that the con staff probably heard about it. I know there were like, this maybe one tech staff there, because the tech staff wasn't really needed, but they were kind of like doing their own thing. But I'm sure it probably got back to the convention team how popular it was, hopefully, because that was so much fun. We need to do that again. All right, what else do we have on the list? Return of the Masquerade and the AMV contest. We're getting an AMV contest this year. Yay! Which is a surefire hit, because honestly, these cons, especially for cosplaying, it's exhausting, and it's really nice to be able to just sit down, especially if you're in a cosplay that makes it very difficult to sit or painful to walk. For my femmes out there, for all of my feminine presenting people at the con, or feminine cosplays at the con, if you have heels involved of some kind, that being able to sit down for a couple hours is a blessing. especially because a lot of cosplay stuff, especially like custom shoes and stuff, doesn't fit right because it's cosplay and it's a lot of custom work, right? So it's nice, really nice at Anime Boston. I look forward to it every year. I'm like, all right, like, if I wear a certain outfit that's uncomfortable to walk in, I know that I need to make time to go to the AMV contest. And also, AMVs are just cool, right? Everybody loves AMVs. I'm glad they're bringing that back.
I do, whenever I've gone to like Anime Boston or anything like that, I always try to make sure if I only visit one panel, the AMV contest is usually a surefire hit.
Yep, it's guaranteed hit every time, no matter what con you are.
I'm never sure. I am interested because obviously this wasn't anything last year, so I do wonder how many categories would come in, or if it's just going to be, who knows.
Well, speaking of newer things and bringing things back, so they had I think I got it confused with the Masquerade because the Masquerade was happening, but they had the talent show. I think it was just called the talent show because I tried asking around, but I think everyone else that I talked to had the same Mandela effect with, what was it actually called? Was it the Masquerade or was it the talent show? And I think everyone's just been calling it the talent show. But I remember definitely seeing some feedback, some serious feedback. Speaking of helpful con feedback from individuals on the AAC Discord server. And I know that the staff is on the Discord server, and I know that they check. I don't know how regularly because it's pretty quiet over there in the Discord, especially in the off season, which is 8 to 9 months of the year, really. And there was a lot of really productive feedback there about the tech. And of course, our biggest enemy at any con, beyond the con chair's control, beyond con staff and logistics control, is the tech gremlins. And then, you know as well as I, whether it's theater or a convention or a live show at a convention or ESP, tech gremlins just we can't seem to get rid of them, right? It's an ever-present menace. I know there were some individuals who were affected by the tech, but then again, it's a talent show. I know it's really hard to run it, but my feedback is to I hope that it seems like they took a lot of that to heart about making sure that the tech maybe had more tests or ran smoothly. And as someone who was observing as media from the audience, I did notice some of the contestants did seem like they were getting very frustrated that the tech wasn't working, understandably so, right? So if you're up there, your tech should work. And reading through some of the Discord posts, the frustration, is palpable. But I think it's just ironing out the details. It's one of those things where you give it a trial run, some unfortunate tech gremlins pop up, some things happen. It's part of the nature of the beast. I felt terrible. I think my girlfriend hit a button on the Crunchyroll. Oh, nope, she's still looking. Oh, she muted. She muted.
Watching anime right now. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we've been watching this. That's actually a good segue. So yeah, tech stuff. Hopefully it goes better this year. I have faith. I have faith in y'all. I love y'all. Y'all are good people. I know that you care about what people say, which is awesome. Not a lot of cons do. I'm really happy that y'all do and that you listen to feedback. So hopefully the tech stuff will be ironed out this year, and it'll be a talent show part 2. And I had a great time. I thought the talent show was great. It was a great feature. Everybody was getting into it. Everybody was involved. People love to be able to showcase our talents. I had a good time. My partner had a good time. Our friends had a good time. Other than the tech snafus, the performers had a good time. Those that unfortunately had theirs go off without a hitch. But generally speaking, the overall big picture was that it was really cool. You should do it again. But speaking of anime, we're watching Gangatsu Count of Monte Cristo. How about you? You watching anything? What are you watching for anime recently, or somewhat recently?
Anime specifically, what am I even watching? It doesn't count, but I did start watching the One Piece live action.
How many One Piece cosplays do you think we're going to see this year?
enough.
Yeah, probably a lot.
I since the last time we did this, I also started doing D&D weekly Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
My DM just thirst posts about Buggy haunts. It was not a constant thing,
Thirst
but like
posting about Buggy the Clown. That's amazing. It's 2023. I'm not
I
surprised.
was like, I brought it up. I'm like, other than that, what have I been watching?
Because I've never seen One Piece, by the way. I watched like 3 episodes of the anime years ago. Like, we're talking like over a decade ago. Don't remember a thing from it. I was half watching the Netflix show in the background while I was playing Baldur's Gate 3, because everyone's playing Baldur's Gate 3. So I was only half paying attention to characters and character names, and I don't trust myself to remember exact names when I'm half listening. Because Baldur's Gate 3 is taking up most of my time. Are you playing Baldur's Gate 3, by the way?
No, it's I don't. My computer cannot run it, and it's way more expensive on PlayStation.
Ah, that's
And there's
unfortunate.
no physical edition on PlayStation yet.
Yeah.
Honestly, when it comes to One Piece, I'll be honest,
One
I
Piece.
cannot sit down and watch the
I can't
anime.
either.
I can read the manga. The manga is, I believe, way better. Because, like, I have it somewhere in this massive pile.
I have definitely heard that. I have heard that the manga for specifically because there's a lot of discourse about it, given the new Netflix series. Which, as a standalone, me not being able to remember names aside, the actual show on Netflix is amazing. Also, I love Spy X Family. Gong.
I think that's the last thing I was watching.
Papa's a liar. I love that. I love Anya so much. What a great character. Like, I have not laughed that hard in a long time. Spoilers for an episode of Spy X Family. So, spoilers, minor spoilers now. I laughed so I was inconsolable when she looks down the hallway, looks back at the kid, looks down the hallway, and then just socks him right in the face. And she goes, "He ran into my fist."
He had it coming.
He had it coming. You get it. You get it. I love that anime. It's really good. I need to finish it.
My family.
Yeah.
We do. I think that does go to the guests. We do have a Spy Family.
Yes. Yes.
Voice actors.
Let's go over to. Anyway, tell me about the guests while I set this up.
All right. So the first guest is Danny Chambers. Danny Chambers is an actress based in Dallas, Texas. She's been acting on stage and film for the past 20 years. She made her anime debut as Chisei, I believe that's how it is, in Ancient Magus's Bride. So she is in Spy Family as Becky Blackbell.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I got the browser open, by the way. We did it! All right, Danny Chambers, here we go.
The other roles I know her for, she's Dahlia / Iris Hawthorne in Ace Attorney. I haven't gotten to that part in the anime, but like I've played. That's from the original trilogy games.
I really want to play the game because I just know that there's a hot clown woman that the people are and the memes.
That's 3D.
That's what?
That's one of the newer ones. It's that's not the original trilogy. I haven't played that game. I know she's like an early case.
Yeah. Our circles loved her.
I just introduced when I'm doing a D&D campaign. I basically one Monday I DM, another Monday another person DM, so it's like different.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, little rotating DMs. I'm here for that.
Yeah, it's different campaigns, but like so this way, because she was getting overwhelmed. So yeah, the town that I just delivered them to before we're taking a break, because a lot of them are doing October like haunting stuff. The town was called Clown, Cloun, and it's the current ruler is like a court jester who is the only member of the royal court to survive an incident. But it was already named Clown, but now he is a clown at the helm. And just
And what
sad.
is? Do you have a name for the clown in question?
I do. Do I
Throwback to
remember it?
earlier,
No.
is it Buggy?
No. I believe it's Kiko I believe it's Kiko.
Eco. Okay, it's a cool name too.
I could be entirely wrong.
Also, she's a Hattori from Ancient Magus Bride, which is on my list. I've been meaning to watch that forever. This is an excuse for me to actually watch Ancient Magus Bride.
Hero, not Kiko. He's a satyr. I haven't seen it yet
That's
either.
the-
There's so many.
Hero is who is Hero again? One of your characters?
Kiro, yeah, that's the clown
Oh,
jester.
okay, Kira. That's yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So Danny Chambers also plays Molly in Epithet Erased. Epithet Erased is a YouTube show where it's partly animated, but not really. Most of the episodes are just stills, going to like other sprites, but the background looks like a D&D mat. So like that's where the placements are, because the original thing for Epithet Erased was it was a D&D show.
Oh, really? I'm looking at it right now on the screen.
It's Jello Apocalypse.
Okay. I mean, I love the art style.
Yeah. And they had like some great voice acting and jokes. It's a world in where you either have an epithet or you're a Monday or mundane. And epithet users basically have this one word that defines what powers they have.
That's really cool.
Do you want a slight spoiler for what epithet the main character has?
Sure. Spoiler for epithet the main character for anyone. Spoiler, go.
Her epithet is dumb.
That's funny. I will. And you say I'm looking at the characters and I'm like, these look like D&D characters, so I'll definitely have to check it out.
Yeah. And like she uses her power to like dim down sound. Like it's not about the strength of your word or whatever. It's your imagination of what you can use with it.
Ooh, okay.
There's one technical season, and then they release like a podcast, like full second season. Not a podcast, but like, you know.
Yeah. That's pretty cool though.
Yeah,
I will add it to the list as well. We also have were there any other shows you wanted to shout out from Danny Chambers? Hero and Kingdom.
My Hero, the movie, Heroes Rising, Maharo. I have not seen that movie yet. Rhyme from The World Ends With You, the animation. Cookie Run Kingdom. I
mean, a great name. I love cookies. I don't know anything about the anime, but
I'm not sure if that's an anime or a game. I'll be honest.
It might be a game. You might be correct.
I've heard of the next guest. I've known
he was here last year, I believe.
Was he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Barry and Jim Ferranda were both here last year. And I remember, if I recall this correctly, Barry actually spoke at the closing ceremonies about how much he enjoyed. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he was here last year because he's William T. Spears and Black Butler. And he
Trying
liked
to
to,
remember.
yeah, he liked to be up here. Black Butler, by the way, I am an annoying Black Butler fan, just by
Oh.
nature of being a Black Butler fan. And let's see what else. Fire Forest,
Oh, that's
yeah.
the other butler for season 2.
Yes, yep. And then we have Fire Forest. I'm not familiar with Fire Forest. Neither am I familiar with Cupcraft. I'm not familiar with
He's also in Spy Family.
Oh, you're right. Yoki in
He's
Fullmetal
the
Alchemist.
headmaster.
Oh, I feel like. Oh, he's the elegance headmaster. The guy who's
Elegance.
Eleganto. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love that
Mr.
guy.
Two.
That's amazing. That's so cool. I didn't know that. And Pop Team Epic. That's cool. Pop Team Epic is fun.
He's one of the heads of one of the guilds in Fairy Tale.
Miscellaneous roles in DBZ, Ghost in the Shell, Fairy Tale, and Attack on Titan. That's very cool.
Phone's doing this weird thing as I'm like trying to scroll through. It's just not moving.
I'm opening the image. Oh, yep, there's the headmaster. There's the headmaster. Oh, yep, and the guild master from Fairy Tale. Gang's all here. Mr. T. Spears, outstanding. Spencer Lyles was not here. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was actually going to say I'm actually going to Google him because I've never heard of him before, and it popped up to WebMD, and I'm like, I don't think that's what I'm looking for.
Known primarily for his work in Mushoku Tensei, Daily Life of the Immortal King, and Blue Lock. Blue Lock I have heard of. Oh, also a Foley artist. That's really cool. Foley work is so cool. I love that.
He began his professional career as a radio DJ.
Oh, okay. KNTU FM 88, the one.
It seems like he's also done a lot of work as like an additional voice. Let's see. Diesel in One Piece. I do not remember that. That's a swimsuit. That's not what I mean by One Piece. Okay.
Yeah, and then we have Jim Ferranda as well, of course. Claptrap, new Claptrap.
Yep.
And Denny Block and Brosh in both runs of FMA. Miscellaneous DBZ Case Closed, Panty and Stocking. I need to watch that. I've heard really good things. I have a lot of friends that are into that show. And Gunslinger Girl was an anime that happened.
Muscular.
Yes, that's what we were talking about. Muscular from My Hero Academia. Boku no Hero Academia.
Apparently, Claptrap is in Fortnite.
I need a nap. Also in Fortnite. I think it's one of those guest characters. Like one of the yep.
Everyone's guest character.
Yeah, it's like a thing. That's how you know that you've made it. If you voice a guest character on not Borderlands. My lines are getting crossed so bad. Fortnite. Fortnite. That's how you know you made it. You do a voice on Fortnite, or they import your character into Fortnite. So, Mr. Playwright, someday when we're voicing random miscellaneous characters or whatever characters on Fortnite, we'll look back at this moment and we'll say, hey, remember that time we talked about being a VO artist on Fortnite? I actually have a VO project we're working on right now, a professionally contracted one. I'm under an NDA though, so as soon as that's released, I will let you know. It'll be very exciting. I'll apply to be some guest somewhere. I'll probably be denied because I only have one credit. But TBD. You're on Wheels. Welcome. Hello. Making a list of... No, Twitch is blocking your words.
These
Yes,
animes
anime is... Okay.
but I'm loving it so far.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I had buttons that were like stuck on the screen. Thank you, Mr. Playwright.
He's also Perfect Cell in Dragon Ball Kai.
Okay.
And like he's been voice acting for a while. Like He was in, it looks like the original One Piece, like the 4 Kids One Piece.
Oh, what? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Never
Also,
watched it, but
when
I
you
know it's
said
old school.
when you said you watched One Piece, did you watch like old One Piece or newer One Piece?
I
Because those are very different.
I think it was newer One Piece. It was circa 2007-ish? 2007-ish?
Um, the big question is, how did they say Zoro's name? Did they say Zoro or did they say Zolo?
I can't remember, which is probably why I got confused about Buggy, because it's been so long and I have the memory of a goldfish.
Yeah, 4 Kids was. I'm not the biggest fan of 4 Kids.
I torrented it on, I think it was BitTorrent or something back at, I don't even know, but it was like, it was a random streaming site, and that was before YouTube even took off, like 2007. It was just like, all right, I'm gonna see if I can find a website that I can torrent an
Yeah,
entire
you
season
did
of
it
an anime from. That's how I watched all the Fairy Tail.
obviously after purchasing it legally through a.
Yes, yes. Everything was legally purchased back then in 2007. Entirely. Everything was entirely above board. For sure. But no, I was grateful to be able to watch like most of Naruto that way, and then some of One Piece. But I got like 3 episodes in, maybe 5 episodes into One Piece, and I was like, I get the humor, but it's not what I was looking for, because it was in the middle of like Pirates versus Ninjas, and like we didn't have Black Sails yet, which is like the GOAT, right? So we didn't have Black Sails, and we didn't have Black Flag yet either. We had the Pirates versus Ninja. We had one of the less watched Pirates versus Ninjas videos, and we had Pirates of the Caribbean, and we had One Piece. And that was about it. But then, of course, the Golden Age with Black Sails and Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and now we have Skull and Bones, which I still have to play at some point. I'm getting there. I gotta finish. Actually, I have to finish Baldur's Gate 3 first. But
Yeah.
I digress.
I was really into a game called Bloodstained. I took a little break from it because like I reached the boss, and it's a lot of it's just gonna be grinding until if I could want to get the trophies. And I started playing the new Saints Row, which did not do well.
Bloodstained Ritual of the Night?
Mhm.
Oh, cool. Okay. I pulled it up right now. Let's take a peek.
A Castlevania
Ooh.
type game.
Okay, okay.
Is it's once you kind of you start playing, it's very easy to in most other games like it's very easy to get lost, but they have places where you can save and where you can like teleport between rooms. And there's usually like important things you can do close to like the teleporting rooms. Like there's a barber where you can cut your hair in a random room.
Oh, that's really cool. I love cosmetics.
And then
The true end game of any game.
Yeah. You can actually change everything about your character, including accessories, except for one thing: your main dress. Everything else will be changed.
That's really cool. I like we actually have the website preview trailer kind of up right now in the background, which is cool. Looks like a really cool game. Definitely have to check it out. I love it when websites actually like include some of the trailer stuff. But where are we?
Yeah, there is definitely going to be points where you may be upset with it, but like on a normal difficulty, there is a jump scare in the game. If you're trying to find all the creatures, there's one where like you have to sit in a train and then you just watch like the train go by a forest, like the moon in the sky and a castle, and then suddenly a creature just like pops up in the water as your eyes start to close, and then it just jump scares you.
I do like a good jump scare.
Yeah.
Especially
There's only one, so you can avoid it if you see it coming.
Especially the Gen Z jump scare memes, where they're just clips from shows. So, as far as other stuff going on at AAC 2023 this year, we have Whodunit. These are the cosplay games. Whodunit, a mystery. Looks like probably a Clue clone or something inspired by a Clue murder mystery game. Cosplay chess, of course, cosplay deathmatch, and the cosplay dating game, hopefully with some improvements this year. And vendors. Looks like it is still open. So if you're an artist and you're watching this right now, nope, never mind. The applications have closed.
If you,
Sorry, but I think Carol is in our server. Carol's super cool. If it's the same Carol I'm thinking of, but go ahead. Sorry.
if you're an artist and you're watching this right now, just make sure you get ready for next year.
Yes,
Or
exactly.
support the other artists and vendors,
Yes.
just so they can do the same for you when you join.
And Anime Boston is right around the corner. And let's see.
Cosplay event signups are still open until October 7th
For AAC.
for
Yep.
let's see, pre-registration is still available. Hotel room block is still available.
Panel submissions closed. I got mine in. You got yours in. Artist Alley, unfortunately closed. Masquerade signups, unfortunately, also closed. But you are correct. Here it is. Cosplay signups open until October 7th.
I don't think, because I'm staff, I don't remember ever registering the last 2 years. I guess I'm just on the list because I'm working.
I think you've. I think you're in it. You're reliable and you're always there. So, I feel like the usual suspects here, you, myself, McKenna, the whole crew. It's like the usual suspects of people that go every year that are just like part of the permanent fixtures of AAC. It's the cool thing about having a small con is that you have friends, people that you work with regularly that you look forward to seeing and hanging out with every year, Prison Company included, and it's just a delight. It's a really fun time. So if it's not on your radar, we've been going every year. I've been going every year for a long time. I think. When was your first year, by the way?
I don't remember.
I think ours was 2018, 17, 18, 17. 2017 was my first year.
Everything pre-concussion is a blur.
Yeah. It'd be like that. Oh my god, I had several. I played football in high school and I was also a skateboarder. So I had like yeah, so I've had like, and then also there was not anything I'm entirely proud of, but a few times in my 20s before I transitioned, hanging out with a very specific crowd, and there were a couple of fights I may have found myself into, of which a concussion was the result. Alcohol and fights do not mix. That is wisdom to impart to the world. Drink responsibly.
I
Good
got
message.
more injured walking my dog than I ever did on the football field.
Yeah. Well, that was like I tried to do a stationary ollie or kickflip. That's how I got my first bad concussion. Was just I was even moving. I was just in place and it went and the skateboard went and my head went bonk.
Yeah.
But,
this one over here just really wanted to walk through the snow behind my building.
oh
And
no.
I started slipping and sliding, and I fell backwards onto a rock.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I feel for you. That must have hurt a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've got
I'm glad you're okay in here now.
issues.
Well,
I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
I think my memory's been not as great, and I don't know if it's deteriorating or if it's just other stuff adding up, but we'll see.
Well, this is like a whole other podcast. Yeah, we can talk about head injuries and concussions. I'm a big advocate for things like the SHIP program, the statewide head injury program, even for post-concussive syndrome, things that aren't as intense, because it happens a lot more often than we would think. Our bodies are pretty durable, but still, any impact is gonna memory or vision or sort of other like all of a sudden I had dyslexia. I didn't really have that before. I was like, oh, I wonder if that's part of it. Like words just don't sit right on the page, that sort of thing. So there's a lot that's related to it. I'm a big advocate for that sort of health, those health initiatives. But
I may run D&D therapy, but that does not mean I do not have a license to
right,
be a therapist.
right, exactly. But
That was like a job I was interested in, weirdly enough.
yeah. Well, you have a license to have a good time. Hey. At D&D Group Therapy at AAC 2023, October 20th through 22nd at the Westford Regency Inn and Convention Center. Registration, pre-reg still open. Go ahead. Final thoughts?
Also, another thing, like every year.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to the Who's Line?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have. We went last year, I had to think.
I'm one of the 4 panelists for that one. I think we've had the same cast ever since I joined. I'm not sure if McKenna's just going to change it every couple of years or what's going on, or if it's just these are the people I trust the most. But yeah, the hardest thing about going to conventions is trying to figure out what panels to go to. Not even because like, oh, what about it's like there's sometimes a lot of good things happen at the same time as others, and you're never sure.
Yes, that has always been a note that is always brought up in feedback, is that a lot of times there's overlap, and I know it's really hard to get it right, but I think it's just the nature of the beast. But you're absolutely right. That's the hardest part about a convention, is going to, because you want to go to your friends' panels, you want to go to the panels you want to go to, and you want to go to the ones that you know are just going to be fun, that you enjoy every year. It's definitely a struggle.
Also, do you want to recommend a random manga or anime for the viewers to read or / watch?
Yes. What do you got? I will leave that to you, because my recommendation is Revolutionary Girl Utano. We just finished that and the movie, and it was incredible. I had a lot of thoughts. It made me feel a lot of things. I had to like take 3 days off to think about Revolutionary Girl Utano, and now we're watching Gengutsuo the Count of Monte Cristo, which I also recommend. It's so good. It's essentially, the guy is essentially Strahd, right? And of course, my partner, who's sitting right over there, recommends all these incredible animes to me. So shout out to my partner for having impeccable taste. She is the fancy strawberry. Those are my 2 recommendations.
What do I even read?
Of course, not really an anime, but there's a new season of Castlevania coming out. It's more of more Western animation, but there's a lot of crossover there, and I definitely recommend that as well.
So it's not exactly like a series that like this is not an easy to get series.
Okay.
I'm sure there's ways to read it online, but this is like, it's been a popular series at like my library growing up, which is weird because it's not exactly safe for work. Have you ever heard of Kindaichi Case Files?
No. Nelly. Have you? Okay, what's it called again?
Kindaichi Case Files.
Kindaichi Case Files, Nelly. Have you ever heard of it? Kindaichi Case Files. It's a rare manga, you said, right? Like it's somewhat rare?
Yeah, it's by Tokyo Pop.
Okay, all right. So, tell me about it.
So the entire book, every book, is its own full murder mystery.
Ooh, okay, all right. For those that enjoy a good murder mystery podcast, to probably enjoy that.
If you like Detective Conan, but you think it's a little too cartoony for you, Kindaichi Case Files.
Okay.
It's about I believe it's grandson. I feel like I'm correct. It's grandson of like a famous detective. Kindaichi just pops into a random place and people start dying around him. Honestly, These, if you're trying, I've been trying to collect for a while. I only have the first five. Um, when they are available, like if I'm trying, I'm gonna look it up on eBay right now.
Okay, okay.
Um,
Well, speaking of rare finds, by the way, the Revolutionary Girl Utena box set, the Blu-ray box set is like $780 because I guess they only made like a limited print of that and then shut it down. They were like, no more. So it's like ridiculously overpriced on eBay specifically. You're not going to be able to find it anywhere else.
if you want the full 1 to 17 complete in English, it'll cost you. Give me a guess real quick.
1,700.
1,400.
I was close. I was close.
That's for 17 books. And like some
Wow.
of the early ones, Smoke and Mirrors you can get for $25. They're supposed to be $10.
That's like I saw a meme the other day and it's like this is what we're doing as nerds to ourselves, to our own people, right? To our own nerdy friends. We're taking these rare finds now and we're putting them in glass and being like, you know, $2,000 for whatever X, Y, or Z. You know, there was a D&D book from the meme was like it was like an original copy of a D&D book. Somebody put it in glass and charged like $1,500 for it. It's like the same idea with the Revolutionary Girl Lieutenant box set and Kendachi Case Files. The original, you know, that manga box. That's crazy.
Honestly,
do they have reprints? Can you get reprints?
I don't think so. No, I would much rather just get reprints over just trying to find the originals.
Yeah. Wow. It blown my mind right now because you would think you'd be able that they would have reprinted it, right?
Yeah. There is no legal way to read it, I don't believe.
Now I'm gonna have crushing disappointment because every time I go to a con, I'm gonna look for it and nobody's gonna have it, and I'm gonna be like determined, even though I know I'm not gonna find it.
Yeah, I have the first five. I got lucky. I started collecting it when it was like $15 each. But like, I'm disappointed in myself those times. I'm like, oh, I'll get that one next time, and then it's just not.
Yeah. Yeah, but the manga set price is insane.
I try to use like A-books and thrift books because they have like a lot of older stuff people just send in.
Yeah.
It's a good way to start collecting older manga series because there's a couple I'm like, I never got to finish you, and I'm sad because I was collecting you when I didn't have money. Now I don't mind if I drop $100 if I got like a full series of something.
Well, hold on. I'm seeing Kendaichi Case Files. All 1 through 17 volumes. Tokyo Pop. English bundle. $9.99 from 100% out of 53 reviews.
$9.99 or
$999, which is still like crazy expensive, but a lot okay, they're used.
Fine.
But it looks like this person lifted them from a library. Just saying.
That's honestly 2 or 3 of mine have the library thing on the back. I don't think it's like they lifted it from a library, honestly.
Bought it from a library for a donation. You can do that sometimes.
Yeah, because the libraries never remove the thing from them. I have a couple that are just straight up library thing. I'm like, I did not rent you.
There's a story. There's a story behind that somewhere. All right, this looks totally different than everything I've seen. There's a couple that are on eBay.
Yeah, there's a couple that are like either the Japanese or they have like different art. And like, that's not like normal Kendaichi, I think. That's like, I'm not sure what those are.
Kendaichi case files 1 through 7 for $100.
That's not a terrible price, I guess.
And then
Honestly, one for $100 the first 7, when like most of the places are selling it for like 20, 25, just like 1 or 2 of them.
yeah,
That's probably worth it.
paperback 1 through 34, Japanese set manga 123.77. Yeah, it's that red border that makes it more expensive. Because
Yeah.
the other ones I'm looking at have white, green, and red kanji.
I'm not sure if those are like the
Japanese
English
only.
editions. Yeah.
Japanese only. This is fascinating. You've sent me down a rabbit hole here. Hold on, this looks like it might be English. Okay, all right. New
15.
Kendaichi files. 6, 1 through 6. Sorry, 1 through 6 plus 2 additions to the story. Bilingual, 175. Excellent quality. We've gone down a rabbit hole. So AAC, if you can somehow get get a vendor that has reprints or something of Kendaichi case files, let us get them
Honestly,
in there.
I've been spending too much money trying to get like stuff I've enjoyed over the years that like I
Yeah.
can only get off. I started doing Google Play digital, but like physical is the way to go half the time.
I love physical media. I love print media in general.
Yeah, these 2 DVDs cost me, I believe, like 60, 70 bucks just for 2 seasons of a Canadian show.
What show is that?
Lost Girl.
Okay.
It's about a succubus.
Ooh, I mean, I love succubi. That's like my whole thing. Okay, what's it called again? One more time.
Lost Girl.
Lost Girl.
And
okay.
there
That's
is
the last
a
thing I
love
looked at.
triangle between a fae, which is like everyone's fae, really. And a human doctor.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And like,
Oh, I have seen clips from this, like trying to search for succubus before. And I'm like, who is this? Who is this girl?
I enjoy love triangles that aren't just like it's 2 boring guys.
Yeah.
No, it's an attractive wolf boy and an attractive human female doctor, and it's just
Now I'm intrigued. I was saying I keep seeing I see the gifs everywhere, but that's
I know
2
how to get
recommendations.
people
Yeah. My partner does too, apparently. I'm just like, because I'm so busy with like D&D stuff, because that's like and TTRPG stuff, learning Vampire the Masquerade and Shield Maidens and all the other. That's like my happy place. That's my hyper focus, right? So other people have to I have to work on other recommendations because that's my thing. So
those 2 and Epithet Erased.
Okay. Yep. That is on my list. I have that up. Threw up a tab.
Epithet Erased is at least free.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. But we are just about out of time. So I want to thank you for your time and coming here. I think we covered just about everything. We're kind of rambling at the end there, which is a good thing, I think, talking about recommendations. Any last minute final thoughts, or are you good to wrap up, my friend?
I've been trying not to fall asleep.
Me too. I'm really tired. Let's go to bed. AAC 2023. Check it out. I'll give you the dates one more time. It is October 20th through 22nd. I'm going to post a link to the actual con here. We're trying to do an ESP panel there. So if you're going, hit us up. That's the con. Again, currently playing AfterInfinity royalty-free music. So, Mr. Playwright, what you got going on in the meantime, between now and AAC and beyond? Any projects you would like to plug?
Here's the funny thing. Originally, if we had time, I was gonna try to be like, hey, do you know what would be interesting if we made one of the character sheets for D&D Group Therapy here? Because I haven't made any character sheets yet. And what I want to do is actually use Tabletop Simulator, so we actually have like some visuals.
Ooh. We could do like a different stream for that too, because I am also falling asleep.
Yeah.
We could do like a dev stream. Yeah, totally. But other than the character sheets and being a panelist at AAC, do you have any other projects you would like to plug?
Currently, no, because I'm just working on a lot of stuff. I'm also really want to make board games for a living.
Yes.
So how about if I come up with anything, we will talk about it.
Done. Hey, we always need a more reliable podcast host, because right now we have our big three. No, big five now. We have our big five regular podcasters for our, and y'all are on the spreadsheet and everything like that, because we do the podcast as a profit sharing, but the podcast percentage, it like takes a while to get to the 10%, the $10 payout. Sorry, but for the podcasters, the regular podcasters, we have yourself. You're like sort of our official AAC co-host. Then we have Bubba Babini, or After Dark Coffee Club, who is our official co-host for our Anime Boston recaps. For PAX Unplugged, it's just me. It's all me, because I basically just cut together show floor interviews. So it's a different format for PAX Unplugged. Same thing for PAX East. It's a lot of just show coverage and stuff thrown together. And then we also, for PAX East, we do a podcast review, and we put up some of the stuff that some of the footage and stuff. So it's like a hybrid for PAX East, but that is Zeldin and Fairies and Cat's Tales. And then of course we have the lovely, incredible our TTRPG and D&D co-host, who is awesome. You can also see her in Stormwatch as well, playing Abigail, who is a very cool sorceress tiefling. Cool stuff. But that's what we got going on. Of course, we have Heaven's Fire on Saturday. Heaven's Fire on Saturday at 9:15. We have the continuation, the start of arc number 2. And I know the AfterInfinity music is like really good. But anything else you want to add before we fade out, Mr. Playwright? Other than we'll be in touch about D&D stuff. All right, and thank you everybody for hanging out with us. For those that came to hang out with us, this is cool. We like to go live when we do our podcast just to like vibe. People will come and hang out. Usually for the podcast, all of our hits are on the VODs again. So for those of you that came to vibe with us, Nerd on Wheels, thank you so much for hanging out with us on a Wednesday night. This is super cool. Y'all are awesome. And we'll see y'all on Saturday for Heaven's Fire. I don't think. Let me check Twitch and see what we got going on over there.
Drink your water.
Oh, it's just the two of us. All right. Well, we're just gonna fade out for now, and we'll go out with a bang. Good night, everybody. We love you very much. Be queer, do crime, be safe out there. Use your privilege if you got to help others. And as our friends over at Neon Lights Roleplay say, quoting our friend Foxy, go check out Neon Lights Roleplay. Another shout out to them. Be gay, be dangerous. We love you all very much. Take care, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.